Hello world, it's me, and I have a problem. If you've ever used the sink before, chances are you're going to run into this problem too. Right out the faucet handle, there's water leaking out on both sides. You can see it right there. I'm going to show you how to replace your faucet. First thing you want to do is turn off the water so no water comes through here. Boom. That one stuck. That's not good. Why is it stuck? Corrosion making it stuck. That one is stuck, this one is not. Still leaking. Stuck. Okay, so where I paused, this valve stop right here for the faucet was stuck. This knob was seized, and when I finally got it free, it was so rusted that it was leaking, so I had to take it off. When you do that, water will start pouring out of here. You don't want that to leak everywhere. So now you can't stop the water right here. That's why I was twisting these knobs, to stop the water going to the sink. Now what you have to do is find your main water valve, and I'll do that. I got everything that I need. Okay. Alright, so you're gonna look for something like this near your water meter, and you're gonna just close that off, and that'll shut off all the water in the house. Back to the sink. Once you shut off that main water valve, I'm gonna figure out what type of stop valve fitting you have. I have I think it's called a sweat stop angled valve. This basically means that it's going to require some soldering to undo it. You need to grab a butane torch to do the soldering. This side, I'm going to have to get the line from the previous hose off. You can, the hose from the old sink off, right there. That should be bigger than I thought. Wow, it's a 17. That very shocking. I thought it was smaller. I think it's actually a 16, not a 17, but 17 worked. So I'll live with that. I actually want to take the other one off too, so I can take the whole faucet out. So let's just take the whole faucet out. So make your neck stiff. The way the putty's done on this sink from the previous owner is a little strange. It might just be old. I don't know, I've never seen it look this messy before. But it might just be me, I could be wrong. As far as plumbing piping goes. I'm not a professional, but I've done this enough times that it seems a little messy down here. So you just need to get this out. If you have this type of sink, you just need to pinch this little tab right here. Doesn't want to come out. So pinch it with these pliers instead. I might have to unscrew it first. It doesn't want to come out. Instead, I'll go with this. So I'm going to be replacing this portion anyways. So now I'll undo. There we go. Did not want to come out. So this is like the little, I don't know what these are called, the little lifters for the faucet drain in the sink. So I got that out of the way. And now I want to just pop the sink out so I don't burn that rubber. I'm just trying to, I'll just give you a quick look at what I'm trying to reach. So it's right over there. There's a little bolt, a big bolt over there, a nut, sorry, and it just being a pain. This happened before. One hose, this came up with. There we go. That should loosen it up enough and I can get it off my hand. Being ambidextrous there helps a lot because I can use my left hand. Two hoses, and they look like new hoses. They're weird, well, moderately. And then there's a nut underneath these two nuts. Two hoses. That needs to also come off because that's what's holding this faucet on. You see that nut right there on both of them? I'm just holding it. And I will get that. Don't you worry. Huh. Yeah. I'm moving my hand. I think it was a 27 or 29 actually. But I still was able to break it free. Could have even been a 28 to be honest. Nut in the cup, which is a spacer that holds it in place. Look at how gross that is. So once you get that out, your sink will look like this. And that is now a good time for me to pause and do the most important part, which is take a break. Boop. Take a break and have a drink. Don't forget that. That'll make everything a lot easier to deal with, especially if you're gonna have to run back and forth, go to the store, get the stuff you need, because my small job turned into a giant job when that stop valve decided to be seized. Still not too difficult, a little bit intimidating for beginners. I'm not even a pro myself, but I have some experience. got me some boba. Alright, now we're under the floor, under the sink again. Alright, so when you use the butane torch, your job is just to melt off the solder. Okay, you're gonna have some water under here already. And that water will make it so you can be less worried about burning anything. Have a wet towel under here, because when you take off everything, in the end of the day, it's gonna spill a little bit. Cover it as much as you can. Alright, so I'm gonna take the camera. What you want to do is aim toward the pipe, melting the solder behind that. Do not touch it with your hand. It sounds obvious, but it is a beginner mistake, a rookie mistake, whatever you want to call it. It's a burning hand. Use your pliers. I will not be able to hold the camera under there while I do this, so I'll give you a long view as best as I can. It's not going to be great. Not too big. And we're off. Solder is free. Again, that torch can be intimidating the first time. All you do is melting the solder, pulling it off, and be careful with this because all the water is off. So you can't, there's not much you can do to cool it down. Just hold it, let it cool down, blow it. Just be careful, because that will burn your skin instantly. Okay? Alright, so once it's cooled down, this old one, where's the nozzle? Right here. This is what it would look like if it was still attached. Old one, new one. The new one comes with the nut that goes on top of it. That's only, you only need this if you are only replacing the hoses, and or if this was damaged at all. But these are typically a universal size. Sometimes this portion might be a little bit bigger, at least in my experience. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be, but in my experience, these are typically the same size. When you put this on before you solder, you want to put it on the full open position so the heat can escape while you're soldering, because you don't want to melt any of the rubber seals inside it. So you're gonna clean that pipe right there, because that's what we removed. This is the only size I have for as far as a wire brush goes, but I can clean the top, the bottom, like tossing a pole here as best as I can, go a little back and forth. Okay, and from here, here's the challenging part. You get this at Home Depot. I believe you can get it at Lowe's too. It doesn't cost too much. You need for these sweat fittings. Sweat fitting means to solder it, basically. You'll see like PVC fittings and compression fittings as well. So the PVC fitting is like plastic to plastic. As you can see, we don't have plastic in here. You use a chemical like bonded that melts the PVC together. Oh, I didn't even know this comes with sandpaper. I'll use it. That's good. Okay, So yeah, PVC uses a chemical bonding to melt the plastics together, and compression fittings, you use a nut and bolt that presses it together. Those are okay, but they typically are only quarter turn valves, and in my experience, the quarter turn valves doesn't let as much water flow through, so you'll get less water pressure. Then there's the press fitting, same thing, quarter turn. So the valve that we selected today is a multi-turn valve, boop, boop, angle valve. Not that angle, so the hose for the new faucet can connect to it. So this comes with sandpaper, flux, which is what allows the soldering to adhere to it. Again, this can be a little intimidating if you haven't ever soldered anything, but it's not too bad. And this will allow the solder to bond better with the copper pipe. Gonna be honest, I never knew the exact amount you need, but I think being a little bit generous is better than going too light. Keep it around where you need to, and then boom. Alright, so now that that's clean, it has some flux in there. I'm going to press this on as straight as I can. And now it's time to heat it up and feed some solder in it. Open it all the way. So the trick to heating it up, again, face it away from the nozzle. Only aim for that back behind the threads up here, behind that angle. What you're gonna do is grab the solder, let some of it feed out like this. Get as much range as you think you safely can. Heat that up, and because of the flux, the solder will kind of feed right into itself. Again, it can be a little bit intimidating. Just give it a shot. Don't be too bad. Test it. I think I did an okay job. Zoom in, I guess, for you guys. It's not the best. I already know it's not the best, but with my knowledge and experience, it's the best I could do. I think I'm gonna heat it up one more time and try to feed a little more solder here. Sorry. I'm just trying to get a good ouch angle. Next step, we will now reveal the faucet that we chose. I think I said it at the beginning. I probably didn't. It is the Allen Roth Harlow single handle. With a little bit of instructions. Let me give it a quick peruse. Okay, Spanish. That helps you. So this piece is to latch down the faucet. Boom. Yeah, what is this? So it just gives it a little bit of tension as you put it down. Okay. I like this design. And we got the base plate. When you go from a two-handed faucet to a single-handed faucet, you're gonna have to put down our base plate. It does have a gasket because there are 3 holes, but we're only using 1 hole. That does not smell good because I can't get this out. Problem. The design connects this pipe to this pipe through this centerpiece. Okay. Wasted time because I didn't understand that design. I think that is a very flawed design because it would leak constantly like that. Gasket. And that's the top part right here. So it's connected as a 3-piece like this. It's bound to leak, but with that design, if you don't use thread tape or something, that's why they use so much putty. There's putty everywhere. So what I like to do is I actually like to twist it for the first layer. Get it as tight as I can. And then chase the thread. Oh, that was gross. Gross water on my leg. Feed it right here, right through the thread. As best as you can. I think this is better than putty. I learned this over years of being an auto tech, honestly. And then kind of press it down, and then put one layer on top of that, like a band-aid almost. So now the thread is chased, and now that portion won't just like undo on you. And you're better off doing that. So definitely more secure than even took a notice of it. So gasket on top and gasket on bottom. Oh, please tell me this is long enough. So we're now putting thread tape on stopper valve. Just to bump the camera without even realize. Just to show you, I have thread tape right here on the bottom side of the catch can. Basically is what it is. Catches water in here so it prevents sewage smell from coming back up and from big clogs from getting too far. I put a temporary gasket up here. I'm gonna have to cut this because the PVC pipe from the previous person who installed the previous sink is too big. So this is a temporary fixture from the previous rubber gasket. It'll probably still leak, but it's better than nothing for when it backs up. Tightened up the new drain into this, threaded with thread tape on both of them, and now I'm putting thread tape on both of the valve stops. And once I do that and install it, I'll be able to test if I got the valve stop installation with the soldering done properly. There's corrosion from the last faucet out here over the years. Just get as nice as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect unless you're a perfectionist. Good enough. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we're gonna look at this. Let's first get this to stand. Alright, so we look at this. The tag, it says hot. Caliente. Boom. Looks good so far. Now going back under. Oh man. So take this. This is the retainer that holds it together. I don't know if there's an actual word for it, but I call it the retainer. This one's way better than those nuts because it has a design that lets you just tighten it by hand, so you don't have to break your back. So the trick here to not go too tight is to try to push only with your wrist once you get to a tight spot. And that'll give you the relative torque that you need. It won't be perfect, but if you twist only your wrist, you won't strip it or break it. Alright, now we go down. We turn on the main valve. Water meter, main valve. Turned on. That was so stiff. Alright, here we go. Let's find out together. Is it leaking or did it seal up? So far, no leaks. Gonna turn on the cold side first. Oh snap. Oh snap. Water. Cold side. Running. Good amount of water pressure. Maybe too much. I'll lower that. And that's a good amount. Good water pressure. Boom. And now, time to turn on the warm side. Looks to me like I did a good job soldering. No water drips. It looks ugly, but not the best. You can see it right there. We're all set. Everything looks good. It is not leaking. That right there is how you change your faucet, have it turn into having to change your stop valve, and learning how to do both of those things. Thanks for tuning in though. If it helped you, give me a like and thumbs up. Hit me with a subscribe. Oop. See ya.